Hello, I'm going to go over a very important activity that you can do in the game, and that is for farming transmute crystals. Now, as you can see, I'm currently in Cyrodiil, and I like to play in the Blackreach campaign because I like to have my CP activated against NPCs, but I'm not a super experienced and I don't really do PvP a ton, so I like to play in this one because there's usually not a long wait to get in, and I'm just not that experienced in PvP, so I like to get in for the currency and all that, and farm transmute crystals, and that's about it. So this is one of the things that I do to get transmute crystals, and can be done throughout the month, but you do not get the reward for the transmute crystals until the end of the campaign, which is at the end of the month. So basically, on the first of the month, you need to go through all your guys and pull out your emails and make sure you have room to collect all your transmutes. So that's important too. But the first thing that I recommend is getting each of your characters to level 1 tier. Now, how do you do that? Now, the important thing is before you do anything, you need to make sure that you are committed to the campaign that you are going to work in. So, for example, if you are committed to Blackreach, you do not want to go and try farm Ravenwatch for your level 1 reward tier. It will not count towards the level. So you need to go into the campaign that you are tied to, or assigned to, or committed to, however you want to put it. Hopefully that's not confusing. I'm trying to use the right terminology, but uh, hopefully you get what I'm saying. So if you want to know how much you have to do to get level 1, it is 25,000 AP in your committed campaign. The easiest way to see where you're at is to go down here where it says Emperorship, and then it will tell you how much you have right there on that white ribbon where you can see my gamer tag there. I have 30,246 AP in this campaign. Another way you can see it is you go to the scoring line here, and just towards the top, right above where it says Daggerfall Covenant, you can see it says End of Campaign Reward Tier, and it's got a ribbon full. If that says 0, then that means you've not filled level 1 yet. Once it says Tier 1, that means you have achieved level 1, and you are now going towards level 2. The maximum level is 3. Once you get to that, you're basically just piling on gravy on top of what you can win. So I recommend just getting to level 1. That's probably going to be your best use of your time if you're not, especially if you're not a PvPer like I am. So once you get to level 1, you can switch your character and go do another character to get level 1. Now there are a couple things that I recommend you do in this. I made a video regarding Underdog bonuses for PvP. Check that out if you haven't watched it. That will help you tremendously if you can kind of watch throughout the month to see which which faction has a low population bonus or a low score bonus active. You can really speed up the process of getting your guys to level 1. Another thing I would recommend is to make sure that your guys are not all committed to one faction. That way, if, for example, right now, you can see the yellow map, the yellow Aldemary Dominion has a lot of this taken up. So if all your guys are yellow, you're going to have trouble getting some AP because there's not a whole lot to take here. The other thing that I recommend to speed up getting your AP is to go into a delve and kill the boss and get the Blessings of War buff. This lasts for 1 hour once you kill a delve boss, and it will increase your AP that you get on all resources by 20%. So this stacks with other bonuses such as the low population bonus, which is 100%, and the score bonus, which is another 100%. So if you have both of those active, that's 200% plus this 20%. You can really speed things up. Now, another way that you can get stones in Cyrodiil is to get a rewards of the worthy bonus. And that only takes 20,000 stone or AP to get, pardon me. And you get that once per day guaranteed on account wide. And then every time you earn a rewards of the worthy box going forward inside of one day, there is a chance drop. So what you can do is you can earn your AP up to level 1. If you happen to get more than one box, you can open one box and then save that box and open it on the next day, and there will be a 25 transmute crystal inside of it. So you can really stack up crystals by doing this every day a little bit. You can get a level 20,000 AP and get a 25 stone, and then the next day you can come back in and finish them off and get another 25 stone, and then at the end of the month you can get a 50 transmute stone. So that's going to be it for the Cyrodiil section. Now I'm going to cover some PvE activities. If you do an arena, which is the Dragonstar Arena, Vadishran Hollows, and Black Rose Prison, once a week you will get 5 stones. And then also, if you complete a trial, you will get, in the weekly coffer, you can complete that once per week. Per character, you can get 5 stones. Another activity that you can do, which is very common, is the random dungeon. When you complete this, not only do you get 100,000 XP, but on the first random dungeon per character, you will get 10 transmute crystals per day. So if you have 20 characters and you have the time to run 20 dungeons, good on you. You can get 200 transmute crystals if you have 20 characters and you do 20 random normals. There is a way to cheese that. If you got a group of friends and you're all savvy, what you can do is each of you have a level 10 character, and you each take turns grouping for random dungeons. And what that will do is that will get you into either Fungal Grotto 1, Spindle Clutch 1, or the Banished Cells 1. But you need to keep the character to level 1. And how you do that is one person takes turns per turn, per time. So one person, let's say out of a group of 4, your fourth person logs onto his level 10. You guys queue for the dungeon, everybody gets inside. As soon as you guys all get into the dungeon, that person that was on the level 10 needs to break from group, log out of his character, and then get on a fully damaged character, and then have you guys invite him back to group. Then you run the dungeon complete, bounce out of the dungeon, everybody changes characters, and then let's say person number 1 then gets on their level 10 character, and you just keep repeating the process. That will speed up your random normals considerably. However, you need to have 4 people that have this down, because whoever is on that low level character for that turn will not get a random stone at the end of the run. So basically that's why you bounce that around to speed things up, so that you get an easy, fast to run dungeon and everybody can rip through it. So that's the random dungeons. So then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is the Undaunted daily pledges. If you complete a normal difficulty pledge, you will get 1 transmute stone. If you complete a veteran difficulty, not on hard mode, you will get 3. This is per quest, per character. And then If you complete the pledge on veteran hard mode, you will get 5 transmute crystals per character per quest. So that's how I recommend you do that. Now, another thing you can do is you can do Battlegrounds. This has got AP tied to it, or excuse me, XP tied to it, and then also Tales of Tribute. You can also play Tales of Tribute. I'm not sure if I'm not real familiar with Tales of Tribute, so I don't know if there's crystals in that or not. So don't quote me on that. I can tell you that there is XP tied to it. So if you're looking to get XP, then there's the Tribute, there's the Battlegrounds, but then I know for sure the Dungeon Finder will definitely get you some Transmute crystals. Now, I'm going to cover one little thing here at the end here, just to talk about this, because a lot of times people don't really know what to do with your transmute crystals if you have too many. Because I'm talking about farming crystals, well, what happens if you have too many? What do you do with it? There's a couple of things you can do. The number one thing that I recommend, and this is if you go through a lot of gear and a lot of change outs and a lot of trying to figure things out, or if you just kind of get bored with a build and you want to try something different, then you're going to want to build some gear from your sticker book. Like, for example, you take this right here and you just want to build rings. And it doesn't matter what trait or anything, you could just build, but you don't want to increase the quality and you don't want to consume any trait materials. So you just want to build the item. So I'm just going to build this item, and I'm going to do it twice just to show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to build that ring again. So now you can see I have 2 rings of the Order of Diagna. So let's say I have too many stones and I just need to get some room for consuming more stones. So now I can go put these rings in one of my coffers here. I can deposit this into one of my chests. These 2 rings right here, and you can see right there on the left of the ring that shows that I reconstructed them. And so now let's talk about, okay, now I need stones. Well, then I pull those rings out and I come over to the rag picker and I look for those rings and I break them down. And then I get my stones back. And you can see I got 100% of my stones back. I got 50 stones. So now another way, another thing you can do if you have too many stones, then you can do, this is another little trick that you can do. Go to something like this and create something that doesn't take a lot of materials. So like, for example, this dagger here, and you don't want to make a trait. So you build this dagger, and then you come over here to this, and you're going to want to transmute the dagger So let's say I was going to do this. You need to know how to make the dagger in the trait. That's the thing. You'll make the dagger, you transmute it to Nirncrux, and then you want to make sure that you are on a build that can do this. So for example, you want to have your crafting up all the way, and you want to be able to have your blacksmithing decon stuff all the way filled in. So your extraction here, and then in your CP tree you want to have your meticulous disassembly filled in so that you get all this. Now this is not a 100% every time you extract, but once you've got the dagger built, then you come over here to transmute it to Nirnhoned. Then you come over here to either your blacksmithing table or your rag picker, and you decon that Nirnhoned dagger, and what it will give you is, again, this is not 100%, but it does happen, I would say probably 75 to 85% of the time, you will get a Nirncrux out of the decon. And what you can do out of that is either build materials, or I should say weapons, or you can try and trade them on traders. So it will give you the potent Nirncrux from the weapons, which are the more valuable ones. As you can see, their average trade right now is about 15,000, which is better than the fortified. So you want to make sure you do a bladed weapon for that, and then pull the Nirncrux from there. So in case you don't know about the limits on transmutes, they should be listed right here on your currency screen. If you are an ESO Plus member, then you have a cap of 1,000. If you're not an ESO Plus member, it is unfortunately only 500. So you do want to be really careful about when you're going to open something or earn a transmute crystal in some way, that you have room to actually earn it. If you don't, then you're going to want to take one of those two methods that I just discussed here, either transmuting something or just making cheap gear that only costs 25 stones, and then putting it in your gear coffer so that you can decon it later when you have room to do so, or if you want to do a new build or something like that. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to end it here on that note. If you found this video helpful, or you thought this was interesting, please check out my channel for other content, and go on to my created playlists and see if there's anything else that you might be interested in. Thanks again, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.